Slide up in a nasty girl, nasty up in a nasty girl.
Welcome back. Sorry we've been a bit long between video podcasts and whatnot. I don't know if I've really kind of ever spoken about me and what I do, but I do like a lot of things, right? So my time is kind of stretched. So I have essentially maybe like 4 jobs. So managing the brand new clinic that's just opened in Tweed Heads. So I'm working there 5 days a week, 9 to 5, great open hours. So that's been amazing. And the clinic has been taking off. We had our grand opening last week. It's been amazing. The other thing that I do is I still work for Vet One, which is the veterinary equipment company. I still do all their marketing. So all their socials, email marketing, like graphics and stuff like that. Still doing their like website. I still do all of that. So I just do that in like, when I get home, like of a nighttime. So that's like contract work. I also was doing social media for a hair salon for a while there. They've kind of started doing their own reels because it's hard for me to kind of get up there now, and they're killing it, so that's good. And what else I do? I have vet nurse school, obviously. Just check it. Just isn't this so funny? You're just kind of picking at. She's got all these little scabs on her from the puppy. So Daphne's here and Velma's here as well. She's just asleep. So then, yeah, I've got vet nurse school, which I do as well. And then I've got Baby Pets Co. the dog accessories. Then I've got a stream through Etsy. So it's more kind of vet nurse stuff on there. What else? I do social media, you know, like collabby brands. I kind of don't say yes to a lot of them, but only brands that kind of really I like and I use, or stuff that's really relevant to us and like the vet nurse world, animals, all that kind of thing. So I'm really, really picky with who I say yes or no to. So I do that on the side as well. So, and I have the full-time boyfriend. So it's a lot, you know, so I kind of just trying to like batch create content. So it's really good when everyone sends through their questions and then I can just make them when I get to them. Oh my God. Anyways. So yeah, I've been busy, but it's been good. So we went out for dinner last night and had like a full bottle of wine. So I woke up with a very bad headache this morning. So we've been on our morning walk and got some fresh air, and I feel a lot better now. So, but I didn't look like this, you know, 3 hours ago. I was like haggard. It wasn't looking good for me. But I was like, I need to make content, do these videos. But I've got so many questions on vet nurse school, so I just thought we'd kind of plot through them. These kind of relate to vet nurses and students. So let's make a start, but definitely put more questions in the comments below if you would have like other things that you would like. There's stuff in here like tips for taking dental x-rays, which I can't really kind of talk you through. And also, don't tell anyone, but I'm not great at dental x-rays. I'm just being honest. I thrive at other stuff. Dental x-rays is hard. I think it's just because I generally haven't done heaps of them. But anything else, I can give you heaps of advice on. What else is in here? So we've got tips for finding jobs for new grads. So like obviously like fresh people like coming out of their course and whatnot. So a couple of pieces of advice for anyone looking for a vet nursing job or like a vet grad job, I guess, is, and I keep seeing this, people going in and applying for jobs with their parents, or having their parents ask the vet when they're in for a consult if their daughter or son can have a job. Don't do that. Also a big one is never, I've had this before and I'm going to say it right now, is like I'll have people message my private, not my private account, but my account, asking for a job like at the clinic. I'm like, guys, you've still got to keep it like professional. What I would do is, and would be okay, is if you sent in a resume to the clinic, addressed to the clinic, and then you could send me a message saying, hey, I've just letting you know I've applied for the job. Look forward to hearing you. So instead of messaging me going, hey, can I have a job? Like what? There's still got to be like a level of professionalism, you know? Come in with the resume, hand it in, introduce yourself. That is the key. That is a winner. So yeah, do not ever message like a vet clinic on Instagram asking them for a job. It's just not, that's not gonna win. It's like messaging, it's just not, I don't even know an example. Like it just, that's a very kind of, I don't know if that's normal for like us, the youngins, but it's not the youngins. I sound so old. It's just not a good thing to do. What else would I say to new? I would always follow up. So say if you've applied for a clinic and you haven't heard it back, maybe in like 2 weeks, just follow it up with them, because people don't understand that their clinics get very busy and things just kind of get, not prioritized, but other things trump it, emergencies and things like that. They just kind of come in and they require full attention. So kind of follow up with it. Hey, I came in last week, just checking, just touching base. I think that's really good, because it kind of just plants it back in that manager's mind, or whoever you've kind of applied for the job to. What else could you do? Definitely looking on kookaburra.com if you're in Australia. And if you're in Australia, there's heaps of jobs on there, and it's like particular to your state. You can check on like seek.com, but most people in the industry working in clinics will just post the job ad straight to kookaburra.com.au. You can also find jobs like overseas on there as well, like volunteer work in like Thailand and Borneo. And if you are lucky, there will occasionally be jobs on there for vet nurses for working in like the UK or overseas, like Europe and the States. So you often a couple of jobs on there for like the Cayman Islands, which I've always looked at. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, but it's just never kind of like worked out. They want people there for like a year or so, but it's definitely an option if you're looking for a long-time job or you want to travel and work. Look on there, they have everything on there. You could also, if you're looking at moving around clinics as well, it's a really good idea to kind of network with your local reps, not local reps, but like your reps and like people within the industry. Like, it is a very, very small industry. Everyone kind of ends up knowing everyone. So if you are friendly with everyone, you can kind of plot your way around. Like, I've really heavily focused on networking a lot throughout like my nursing and being present online, which was a help as well. So my last 2 jobs I didn't apply for. I just got a call. Hey, we'd love to have you, la da, sweet. So it is a small industry where that can eventually happen as well if you've been in it, doing it for long enough. Just if you're a great nurse, people want you. It's a real kind of talent to be like good at what you do, good with people, good with animals, good with, across the board. People want you in their clinic. So if someone's opening a new clinic. What else have we got on here? What to say to grieving clients. This is a really it's a pretty hard one, to be honest. It's case by case. Some people are very talkative in that situation when they're quite stressful, or some of them are just, they're silent and just kind of internally processing. I would always just kind of be very kind of thoughtful in making them comfortable. I always would say, let us know if if they're leaving afterwards, give us a call if you need anything. I think it's really, really nice, touch. I would always say, I'm so sorry, be very sincere, say it with your sincerest kind of tone, and you're actually, not just, oh, sorry for your loss, or just kind of no personality behind it. Just, put some, I'm so sorry, and I find also the less that you say is quite nice as well. You don't need to do a lot of talking in that situation, because they're stressed. It's a stressful situation. They're probably in tears, but we just want to get out of there. And I would just kind of, it's a lot in your body language as well. I would, kind of put my shoulders forward, as in almost in a submissive pose, not pose, but in a very kind of you feel the hurt that they're feeling. Another thing with this that I think is really important is not always kind of relating it to yourself. So say someone is, they're trying to book in for their dog. I wouldn't, and I've seen people do this, and I don't know how I feel about it. Their nurses will say, oh, yeah, I just euthanized my dog. Oh, I'm so sad for when I have to say goodbye to my dog. I kind of have in my head that when it comes to that person's time to say goodbye to their dog, this should be about them. And I think it's important just to kind of give them their time to kind of grieve, not make it all about you. I don't know. I just have a weird thing about that. It's even when you're talking to clients about their pet, say a client calls and they've got questions about their dog. Oh, I've got this, and people will go, oh yeah, my dog does this, or my dog had that. I go, oh, like, customer service wise, the customer wants to be like the priority of their experience. I don't know, that might be wrong, but that's just what I've always done, and that's always worked really well for me. If anything came up about, I would say, oh, I've got, you know, these two dogs, but I just feel like from an experience, I make it all about their dog and their problems and their issues, and they feel prioritized and they feel seen and heard. I had a couple of questions on here as well about customer service. So one really, really good tip that I've always heard, like someone wrote on here, how do you deal with rude clients? I'm going to give you a couple of tips that have really, really helped me over the years. Number one, I don't remember where I learnt this, but it worked. So number one is, if you feel like, so say if you're sat at reception, you're sitting at a reception desk and you've got a client that's come in and they're pretty like aggressive and they're kind of talking, they're standing and they're talking down to you and you're feeling kind of attacked, stand up. I don't know what it does, but it's like a body language thing. So if you stand up out of your seat and just kind of stand there where you're looking eye to eye with that person, it kind of, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it like triggers this thing where it's, that person isn't below you. I'm not sure, but it's always been really, really effective for me. Number two, if you do have an aggressive client and you are feeling quite threatened, make sure that when you are having a discussion that other people are around, like you've got other staff members. So say if you are the only one on reception, make sure that someone else is around. So say go and get someone just to kind of be at reception. Don't make it obvious, but you could say to this person, give me 2 seconds, I've just got to ask my, sort something, and go out and get another nurse to come out and just kind of be around the area, that like maybe just in reception, just fiddling with something, and don't kind of go off into an area in the clinic where no one is around. Why I say this is because one time I had a very, very aggressive client come in, he couldn't pay for his bill, and I didn't want to embarrass him in front of, I didn't want him to feel embarrassed in front of people in the waiting room. It was a very small waiting room, and I said, okay, we'll just go into this like small consult room just to talk and we can work it out. I'm like, do you want to pop through? And I went into this room and I had both of the doors shut, and it was just me, this little small girl, and this huge fucking guy, my French, and I just saw him start going like this with his fists, both of his fists like gripping his fists as if he was gonna clock me one. And I just remember going, oh my God, he's gonna punch me in the head. I'm falling down, and no one's seen it, no one's there. And so in that instance, I should have had at least one of the doors open so the staff at the back could have seen. Nothing happened. He just was, irate. It was very unfair type of, had signed off on everything that we could do everything and then couldn't pay for anything, the typical. But hopefully you don't get too many of those. Yeah, so it's definitely standing up at reception and also having someone around. The other thing as well, if it comes down to cost, which it's the veterinary industry, it's usually about cost. One thing that I did learn is to not be, instantly offended when someone, oh, that's expensive, isn't it? Instead of going, oh yeah, like that's just the price, or, oh, that's, not having anything to say. I learned, and you're allowed to do this, there's no kind of reason that you shouldn't be able to do this, is sympathize with them. So agree with them. Veterinary, anything veterinary, it's so expensive, isn't it? It's one of those things, kind of call their bluff where they can't argue with you anymore because you agree. Not saying, yeah, this vet clinic that I'm in, that I'm working at, is so expensive, but saying, yeah, like anything vet is just, it's expensive, isn't it? Also, another thing which I will always do, and in a very, not in a, you know, we should have done this way, but in a very, oh, this might help type tone, I always say, do you have pet insurance? You've got, did you have any pet insurance for your, oh, and they go, no, I don't. Oh, and then you could say, and they go, no, I don't, I should have done it, or something. But then you could say to them, yeah, but it might have worked out either way, you know, with paying the premiums. So it's more you're still having the conversation, you know, you're kind of discussing it, but you're more sympathizing with them more than arguing. And I would say, yeah, like, you know, what you probably might have paid in premiums might have outweighed what you've paid in kind of vet bills over the year. It's a hard one, but it's sympathizing with them, so they can't be like, it was, you know, the nurse on reception argued with me about price. It's not, you don't have to do that, because to us as well, to me, like, vet stuff is expensive. It just is. That's just the way it is. Someone that has been ordering inventory, you know, any of that stuff for years and years and years, and knows that it's friggin' expensive for vet clinics to buy the stuff to start off with, but then to sell it as well. If you've got clients coming in as well and they're kind of complaining about medication prices as well, and they're kind of discussing, you know, how people are buying them online at like pet chemists and things like that, which is, you know, totally fine, each to their own. If they want to do that, great. If they want to support their vet clinic, great. You know, it's a case by case, person by person thing. And people are saying, why is it so expensive online when I could buy it? No, why is it so expensive here when I could just buy it online for this? A good, excuse me, she just farted on me, disgusting. A good argument for that, not argument, but discussion for that, and kind of reasoning is, you know, you say, well, pet chemists online, they can buy in huge bulk amounts, whereas us, the vet clinic, we just don't have access to that. We only order in small amounts just to, you know, tee up with expiry dates. I would also say, it's because, you know, we've got a shop front and we've got, you know, staff here every day, and we've actually got a brick and mortar clinic that and you know, you can buy the medication today and have it today. Whereas if you buy online, totally fine. They can buy it in bulk, so they can offer it in the cheaper costs, cheaper pricing. But you will, you know, it's one of those things that you can order it, but it will be with you in, you know, maybe a few days, because you've got to get it shipped to you. So it's that kind of the convenience, and the costs are all kind of catered for the convenience of the vet clinic having them, whereas online, and that kind of diffuses the situation between you and that client, you know, blowing off the handle about why is it so cheap on, you know, it's just because we cannot. And be honest with them, we can't compete with the online pricing. They must get it, you know, so much cheaper than we do. We don't know how they do it, kind of thing. It's more of a sympathizing with them, and, you know, being just as frustrated about the situation as they are. And I always find that people go, oh yeah, like, yeah, it's just a little bit of like explanation without being you know, rude or condescending about it. That works a lot better. It's lots of rambling here, I could just go on forever. Okay, what else have we got? Any tips from going from GP to emergency? I'm making the swap. I'm scared I won't know anything. Okay, so first of all, you will know so much more than you think you know, but don't be hard on yourself. Oh, one of the dogs wants to go outside. Okay, so going from GP to emergency work. It's a big jump. It can be pretty daunting. I totally understand that. I think the key is to remember that not to be too hard on yourself. It's like going and working in a brand new clinic where every clinic does everything differently. You know, everyone's got little protocols and little things that will differ from every single clinic. So it's like you moving into another GP clinic and kind of not knowing, you know, the way that they do things. So first of all, you have to learn all of that. Take it easy. Give it a good like 4 weeks before you go, oh my god, I can't do any of it, like it's too hard. So give it some time. You will learn a lot on the job. Like, I think that going to an emergency clinic just to kind of broaden your experience is so important. It's so valuable. And a lot of people, I've noticed lately, a lot of people that will go to emergency, they love it. They'll love it more than GP. I didn't love it because I love to sleep. But people, some people, it just suits them way better. So don't be too hard on yourself. Give it like a good 4 weeks before you go, oh, it's not for me. And yeah, it'll take you time, but you will learn so much more than what you know now, like if just going into that environment. And you have to remember as well, like there are lots of emergency clinics that offer a full, what's it called, onboarding kind of thing, like that is months long, like to get you up to scratch. So a lot of them do actually offer that as that kind of support. So the one that you're going to might have that, but if it doesn't, it probably could have that. Just remember that at other emergencies there are strenuous onboarding, so they're aware that it's a lot. It's a lot going from GP too. So I don't think don't be too hard on yourself, don't be too critical of yourself, and just the people working there will probably know, it will take you a few weeks to kind of get settled, but good luck. It'll be so fun. You see so much stuff, and it's good because you see like the ways that different vets do things, and it kind of broadens your outlook on a lot of things, and it's just super interesting. I find you'll absolutely love it. What else have we got in here? How do you handle work toxicity? This is like a really unfortunate one. I had a girl message me recently and she said, look, we swapped dogs. She said that she had been in the industry for 9 years and that she was leaving the industry because she just couldn't find her unicorn clinic and just couldn't deal with, I guess, the toxicity and of other staff, which just like breaks my heart, which is just, it's so sad. I've actually come across, not, I don't work with them, but I've, friends of friends, nurses, la-di-da, small industry. I've actually come across a couple of like not so nice nurses recently, and I'm like, just from meeting them out of actually even being at work, and I'm like, I just know that you are the toxicity in the clinic. And it's so sad because it would affect everyone in the clinic. One bad egg or just a couple, because what happens is you have one staff member that is, negative or kind of brings the mood down, or critical and like condescending, rude, not rude as such, but like doesn't kind of prioritize training and teaching for the vet nurses as well, that people will start to like gravitate to that and join in on it. And so then it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's not productive for anyone. That's not fun. And it's that person needs to not work in a vet clinic. Vet clinics are extremely stressful. Training to be a vet nurse is stressful. And so if you don't have that support, if you've got someone that isn't supporting you like completely whilst you're training, whilst you're, even if you're a fully qualified nurse and you're just kind of going about your daily, they aren't kind of meshing with you, and they're just kind of bringing you down or being critical, or kind of making you feel silly, that is their issue, and it's got nothing to do with you. It's unfortunate that people in this industry they'll try and be not the hero, but like a know-it-all. There's one thing I cannot stand is a know-it-all. And even if you know your shit, like a lot of stuff about, the best thing that you can do is keep it to yourself instead of kind of putting it all out there to make people feel stupid. If you know your stuff, and if you are pretty confident in your job, you probably won't say anything. You keep all of that knowledge, and you know it, but you don't feel the need to say it to make people feel silly or put people down or kind of show off. I don't know, it's weird, but that type of thing I don't really love. I can't really say that I've worked with any really bad like toxic nurses. I guess like my mentor was an absolute legend, you know, would never say a bad word about anyone and was always the most like supportive person. So I kind of, when I went to manage a clinic, I think to myself, what would she have done? How would she have kind of taught or like, you know, training students? How would she kind of approach it in a very kind of kind, like laid back, supportive, yet informative way, without kind of making people feel like shit and making people feel on eggshells or like that their intelligence is being questioned. That's and that kind of comes with confidence as well. Like people, you know, might know everything, but they'll probably be, I don't know how to say it, like I'm trying to think of an example. So say, even comes down to little things like, say you're doing something and you've been nursing for years and someone will come along and say, oh, you need to do this, or you should do this, or, you know, just the little like comments that kind of, as if you were silly and you weren't going to do it, or, you know, and you 100% know your stuff. Like you don't need to be made to feel like that. It's those comments that I just go, oh, it's not, it's like micromanaging, but within the nurses. It's very, I don't know, I kind of learned that not to micromanage and kind of step back and just let the nurses kind of do their stuff, because when people are given the freedom to kind of excel on their own without being, you know, eyes looking at the back of their head, constantly watching what they're doing, they will thrive. Like when they're given the independence and they're given that freedom, they will naturally do very well. It's weird. And that's kind of across the board. You'll notice in like clinics and like workplaces that clinics that don't have, you know, someone micromanaging, clinic will naturally do very, very well. The staff will be very kind of joyful and get along, and everyone just kind of, you know, it's very harmonious, and, you know, people come up with new ideas and they're happy to kind of suggest stuff. Whereas when there is a toxic egg, or, you know, you've got a micromanager that, you know, kind of nitpicks at everything that you do, or, you know, poo-poos your ideas and kind of doesn't really let you kind of have any freedom to do everything, just protocol, you know, that's not how we do it, this is how we do it. You notice that those staff members in those clinics will all become not lazy, but just unmotivated, because they aren't given that freedom to kind of branch out and kind of show off what they can do or come up with ideas. They kind of get to this plateau and then it's just like they're bored. So it's like a very like unmotivating. So that kind of comes from management as such. That's not really like a toxicity. It could be toxicity, but toxicity in the clinic, I'm guessing that question is asking you about fellow staff members. Another thing that you can do is address it head on. You could speak to them, hey, like, and address, I feel that this is happening. What do you reckon? Do you have to do it in a very kind of diplomatic, I don't know if that's the right word, politically correct way? I would just, before you kind of address anything or, you know, talk to anyone about anything, if it's that person that is the issue for you, I would always kind of play out what the best case scenario of that being. You don't want it to be a blowout big argument, but you do want to get your point across. You want to be heard, and you want to get what's holding you down and making you feel stressed, or, you know, pressure, or whatever's going on. You do want to bring it up. So I would kind of say, hey, like, I was just wondering, like, is there a reason for this? Because I feel that, you know, this is going well, or I feel like you're kind of, you know, nitpicking, or, you know, just kind of approach it in a very gentle way without kind of attacking. You know, like, I've seen nurses before kind of butt heads, and it just becomes so awkward, you know, when it's like you snap back at each other. Becomes awkward in the clinic, and you both go home feeling like crap. You're better off just kind of swallowing your tongue to start off with, maybe leave it a day, and then come in and address it in like a very kind of mellow, easily discussed way. I find that works. But if you find that your clinic as a whole is not letting you kind of succeed, you're not feeling fulfilled and like you're dreading going to work every day, you might need to move clinics. Like, I know it is really hard because, it might be close to where you live, or, it's, something, for some reason, it might be worthwhile moving to another clinic. Try something new. It's not, it's not going to be the end of the world. You might move to another clinic and then go, oh my God, why did I not do this 6 months ago? The worst that can happen is you go to another clinic and it's just not right. That's okay. There's plenty of vet clinics everywhere. There's plenty of animals and there's plenty of vet clinics. You have a huge amount of like options, unless you're in like the middle of Australia or, next to Uluru or something. But for most cases, there is always going to be more than one option, if you know what I mean. So definitely don't be scared to kind of branch out and try something new, because sometimes, not always, but like the bad egg might be so ingrained in the clinic that the owner might think, oh, they're great, they've been here forever, but they are the issue. And that's going to be a hard fix. Unfortunately, those people, I haven't seen too many of them, but I have come across a couple, and I definitely understand that it's not pleasant to work with. But so don't. Move on, better yourself, give yourself the chance to do better, because you don't deserve to kind of be going to work every day and not enjoying it. You need to love this job. People find clinics and then they, absolutely fall in love. The clinic that I'm in now, there's 3 of us, and it is just like a bunch of friends at work, and it is the best. It's exactly what I needed and what I wanted and why I got into the industry. To help animals and just kind of take time with them. I was in previous clinic where it was so busy that, it just felt, it had just lost the reason. I had lost why I had wanted to do it. And I was so, I was there for so long, and then it just didn't, and I was like always like, oh my God, like if I go anywhere else, it's not gonna be the same, But like, if I hadn't have left, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity, which suits me to a T. So definitely always give yourself that option. You only have one life. Don't kind of be upset with your work. We work a lot in our lifetime. We're in a workplace. I just feel like you have to enjoy the workplace that you're in, because you're there for hours every day. You might as well be enjoying it. My dad has always said this: everyone's got bills to pay, everyone's got, mouths to feed. Why do we go to work and not enjoy ourselves? Everyone's got to go to work, everyone's got to, pay the bills. Why are we going to work and not having fun? You should be able to have fun and enjoy your life. Oh my God, I just have to stop you and just show you these dogs. Look at them. Literally like conjoined twins. If you would like to drop some more questions below, I'm just on a derm care giveaway with derm care. You win some vet nurse school reference guides, so go and enter that. You just got to get in contact with like your local rep, and then you can enter this like little quiz, and it's really cool. You win like a stethoscope and some scrubs and vet nurse guide, which is cool. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else on vet nurse school, and anything else you want to know. I might go and have a nap now.
Just like I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl.